The story opens with a brief, haunting glimpse, a young woman, wounded and alone, struggling for life on a remote island. But then, we shift to Madison, the central character of our tale. She's a vibrant social media influencer and travel vlogger, constantly exploring new destinations at the request of her followers. Her latest adventure has brought her to the exotic landscapes of Thailand. The trip was originally meant to be a romantic getaway with her partner, Joan, but due to unexpected work obligations, Joan's arrival is delayed. Madison, now alone, starts exploring the city, capturing scenic moments and vlogging her experiences for her audience. Though surrounded by beauty, Madison feels lonely and disconnected. She continues to message Joan, hoping for comfort and company. Joan promises to come soon, but the distance is starting to wear on her. A few days later, while sitting at a bar, an unsettling incident occurs. An older man, motivated by greed and lust, tries to proposition Madison. Disgusted and offended, she tries to get rid of him, but he doesn't back off. That's when CW enters the scene. CW, a confident local woman, steps in and firmly sends a man away, leaving Madison relieved and impressed. A new friendship begins. CW warns Madison that situations like this are common and advises her to stay cautious. Madison, opening up, tells CW about her canceled plans and the misconception people have about the glamorous life of vloggers. Behind the scenes, it's full of exhaustion, planning, and constant pressure. We learn that CW works as a local guide, helping tourists explore hidden gems of the area. But with Madison, she doesn't act like a professional. She treats her like a friend. CW invites Madison to travel together, showing her places untouched by tourism. Madison agrees, excited by the prospect of discovering unique content for her vlog. Together, they journey across scenic roads on CW's bike, capturing picturesque spots and thrilling moments. Later that evening, they head to a lively club and enjoy a meal together. After a long day, Madison returns to her hotel, feeling a rare sense of joy. Her latest vlog is gaining traction and praise. But that happiness shatters the moment she steps into her room. The door is open, her belongings are gone, and her passport has been stolen. Panic sets in. CW helps her file a police report, and Madison learns she can get a new passport, but it will take 2 weeks. 2 whole weeks she can't afford to lose. She has deadlines, brand deals, and videos to shoot in America. When she calls Joan to share the news, hoping for comfort, she's met with frustration instead. Joan is more worried about the money lost than Madison's well-being. Crushed and hurt, Madison breaks off the relationship and ends the call in tears. Now stranded and heartbroken, Madison accepts her reality and begins traveling with CW until her passport is reissued. During this time, she keeps uploading videos and photos, gaining engagement and praise from her followers. She often asks CW to join her in some pictures, but CW always declines. Madison finds it strange. Maybe CW is self-conscious about the scar on her face. She lets it go. One day, CW invites Madison to her beachside home. It's beautiful and serene. CW mentions a secluded island that almost no one knows about, untouched, unvlogged. The promise of exclusive content excites Madison. Without a second thought, she agrees to go. At dawn, they board a small boat and set out for the mysterious island. Madison, as always, records everything for her vlog, unaware that this decision is about to become the worst mistake of her life. After hours of travel, they reach the island, stunning and eerily quiet. There, Madison notices a strange log marked with 7 lines, like tally marks, perhaps someone counting the days they've spent trapped there. At night, they sit under the stars and talk. But the next morning, Madison wakes up alone. CW is gone. And back on the mainland, CW begins a dark transformation into Madison. She returns to Madison's hotel, hacks into her social media accounts, deletes Madison's identity, and replaces it with her own. She wears her clothes, mimics her voice, and records vlogs pretending to be her. Her online followers, including Joan, remain oblivious. Joan, growing concerned after days of silence, sends messages and calls nonstop. But it's CW who now has Madison's phone, and she ignores them all. Joan has no idea Madison might be in danger or already dead. CW has done this before, 4 times. Now, she's searching for her next victim. She sets her eyes on a new target, a solo traveler who happens to be a lawyer. From the woman's posts, CW finds out where she's staying. She books a room in the same hotel, monitors her closely, and slowly inserts herself into her life. She steals the woman's room keys and sets her plan in motion, just as she did with Madison. Then comes a twist. CW has to confront Joan in person. Joan surprises Madison with a visit and arrives at her home, now occupied by CW. Thinking on her feet, CW tells Joan that Madison ended things with him and didn't want to see him again. Joan, heartbroken and confused, believes her. But deep inside, something doesn't feel right. The next day, Joan called Madison's phone, and to his surprise, someone answered. It was CW, but she mimicked Madison's voice perfectly using AI voice technology. She told Joan that everything between them was over, that she had left the house and didn't want to be contacted again. Joan was devastated, but deep down, he didn't believe it. He was sure Madison would come back eventually. When Joan told a friend, a young lawyer named Lana, about the situation, her expression changed. Something didn't sit right. Lana confessed that she had gone through something eerily similar. A charming woman had once entered her life, only to manipulate and erase her. Now suspicious of CW, Lana decided to investigate. Being a lawyer, she'd seen many such twisted cases. She started keeping a close eye on CW. One day, she messaged Madison's social media profile, and immediately, the notification popped up on CW's phone. That was all the proof Lana needed. Madison was either missing or worse, and CW was impersonating her. Alarmed, Lana packed her things, ready to escape the house immediately. But before she could leave, CW appeared. Pretending like nothing was wrong, CW smiled. But Lana didn't hold back. She told her firmly that Joan had shared everything, and it all matched her own experience. "I'm not just some helpless girl," she said coldly. "My father is powerful. If anything happens to me, he will find you, and he will destroy you." But CW had no plans of letting her go. Without warning, she drove the sharp heel of her shoe into Lana's neck. Lana became the fifth victim, the fifth girl CW had seduced, manipulated, and killed. When Joan arrived shortly after, CW had already cleaned up the scene. He found nothing out of the ordinary. But CW wasn't done yet. She entered Joan's room that night, ready to eliminate him too. Just then, a notification on her phone startled her. Joan had uploaded a photo of himself with Lana and tagged Madison in it. This was a serious problem. CW couldn't allow anyone to recognize her face or connect her to Madison's disappearance. She needed to delete the photo, fast. The next morning, she lied to Joan, saying Lana had gone home. Then, to further mislead him, she uploaded a photo on Madison's account, Madison posing with another man. Joan saw it and felt crushed. Maybe Madison truly had moved on. Later, CW noticed Joan staring at some old pictures of Madison. The quality was poor, the engagement dropping. Madison's online image was deteriorating. That night, CW took Joan to a bar. There, she drugged his drink. Once he was unconscious, she brought him home and deleted the incriminating photos from his phone. The next day, Joan woke up with a heavy heart. Everything felt wrong. He decided it was time to leave Thailand and go back home. CW was relieved. Her path was finally clear. That day, she burned everything that belonged to Madison, clothes, ID, even her passport. Joan, reminiscing about Madison, thought of the early days, how she had been just a regular girl with big dreams, how they'd worked hard together to build her brand. Then something clicked. He remembered that strange photo, Madison with another man, and noticed a hotel in the background. He rushed there, hoping for answers. At the hotel, the staff confirmed his worst fear. Madison had never checked in. Then, fate intervened. Joan ran into the older man who had once harassed Madison at the bar. The man recognized her face on Joan's phone wallpaper and recalled that Madison had left with a woman, CW. That moment confirmed everything. Joan began digging deeper. He reviewed Madison's old videos, removed the filters, and in one clip, saw CW's reflection faintly behind her. That was all he needed. He stormed to CW's house and ambushed her, knocking her unconscious. He tied her to a chair and demanded to know what she had done to Madison. CW refused to talk and instead accused him. She said that since the last message Madison ever sent was to him, the police would think he was the killer. Still, Joan forced her onto a boat, demanding she take him to the island. But CW had other plans. As they reached a remote area, she shoved Joan into the water and drowned him. Just like that, another innocent life lost. CW was a cold-blooded killer. Back home, she updated Madison's social media, claiming Joan had murdered her and fled with all her money. Her followers believed her. She even wore the engagement ring Joan had bought for Madison, posing as the grieving victim. The next day, CW saw thousands of supportive messages flooding in for Madison. But she had one last task: destroy all evidence on the island. Days later, she returned to the island. But as she stepped ashore, something felt off. A fire was burning. A fish was cooking. A tent stood nearby. Someone was alive. CW's eyes widened. Was Madison still here? Panicked, she entered the jungle to search, and suddenly, Madison struck her from behind, smashing her head. Madison ran to the boat, where she saw Joan's lifeless body. Tears welled up in her eyes. But she had to survive. She couldn't cry now. She pushed the boat into the water and sailed away. But the story doesn't end here. CW wasn't dead. She slowly opened her eyes and laughed. Laughed like someone who had done this before. Like someone who knew every way in and out of the island. The question now is, will she come back? And with that chilling thought, the story ends. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.